the Grand Observer here. Good evening. I got a new movie review, Crimes of Grindelwald. One of the best movies so far of the... because the thing is, it's a series, like Harry Potter. And what's fun about this series is that it's actually taking it rather slow, not being all fanatic and stuff. Fantastic Beasts 1 was pretty good, as I said, fanatic and stuff. But this one, Grindelwald, I guess, I don't know, I think one review from someone else was like, it isn't very good or anything. But no, it's going in a weird direction. It started off kind of bouncy, sporadic, to give it the idea of what it is, right? And so, this one, as the title implies, Crimes of Grindelwald is more about Grindelwald instead of just the Fantastic Beasts. Even though there were quite a few new beasts, even though we didn't get to see much of them. Of course, here's some stuff that I recorded off my phone since I bought the movie so I can continuously watch it because it's pretty good. The story starts off slow. We find out that Grindelwald escaped, and this is how.
No more silver tongue.
Not a very fun, actually very clever way. And because of that, he's murdered so many auras just to escape and gained a new following by doing such things. And then yeah, with him free, panic arises in the Ministry. Not so much the Wizard World because no one knows that he's escaped or anything. Well, yeah, I think it's started to rise up slowly. But then then we go off to Newt here. I gotta love Newt. He's one of my favorite characters, especially his stuttering, his slightness. He's trying to go and get permission from the Ministry to be able to travel again since he was banned because he nearly destroyed New York. All the way. My wand! This is a wand, even though it has a magnifying glass. See? Oh! Outside. He fails to do so. No. What he does is he goes to talk to an old friend of his. No, back up. What happens is that he runs into an old friend while trying to get into have a meeting with the Ministry about lifting his ban from travel, thanks to things not of his fault. And his brother's there too, lovely enough. But the only problem with that is that his brother is rather naive. He even wants him to do everything his way. I think his brother's older, actually. But that aside, the brother wants him to join the Ministry to track down none other than Credence, our lovely little Obscurus. Oh, I forgot to mention at the beginning of this, spoilers for those who haven't watched, as well as at the review of it. But yeah, the movie, but Credence is still alive apparently and is in Paris. But the only way they will allow Newt to go anywhere is to join the Order, specifically the brother's line of it. And when he does that, he can go out anywhere but to find Credence first and kill him! But he's just a boy, a lad, a young man. Even he didn't think he survived after the Obscurus was it was destroyed. The thing is, because of the Obscurus was destroyed, he was Cletus I even forgot his name already. He's not my favorite character, honestly. Credence, yes. Credence survived thanks to that. I presume that's how it works. If the Obscurus is pulled apart from the human, an aka witch or wizard, and he can survive without it and still have some magic powers, because later in the movie, Newt says... No, not Newt, Dumbledore, because finally we come into Dumbledore after he storms out because he hates that he's being offered to join the Ministry just so he can leave. But Dumbledore then finds him and talks with him. Finally, after so long, we see Dumbledore young. Yeah, I love it. The first time we actually see Dumbledore. He's actually pretty good. I like him. He looks good. Just as we've seen in the trailers and stuff. Badass. Even though he doesn't do much magic. And so, he tells that... So Dumbledore explains a few things that correlated with the first movie. And what happens next is that he says, the Obscurus is the dark half that fills the void of no love. So say if we find the family members of Credence and fill that void with love, he would no longer be dangerous. He would be safe and helpful and kind to the other wizarding world, right? Because all he wants, even Credence, just wants to find his family be loved. But so far, he has not done that, right? Because, well, later in the movie, we find out that Tina is also looking for Credence. And lo and behold, there's a magic circus. I did not take a picture of that. I should have. In town, and in the Wizarding mirrored version. And because of that, she was trying to find Credence. That's official Ministry magic. She wanted, though, to make sure to try and save him. But the problem is, he had proof that he was of royal lineage and such, that he actually has magical blood, instead of just being a monster, abomination, etc. And unfortunately, there was someone else trying to do the same thing, but also kill the Credence, not knowing the truth until way later in the movie, which I'll get to that. And so, now Newt, who goes home after the conversation with Dumbledore, feeds his fantastic beasts. With a new character that might have some more importance later in the series, but not at the moment now. Do you behave?
What was that?
And lo and who walks in on him sneaking inside the house? Why, Jacob and Queenie. Surprising. There were rumors. I will tell the rumors when we get to the part that the rumors correlate. But yeah, they walk in and unannounced and kind of surprising Newt. But that's not no big problem, unless they're just saying hey and having dinner. But Newt finds out here Jacob was mind controlled, or intoxicated literally by a magic spell. Love potions. I don't know. But either way, Jacob does love her, but the problem is magical world does not allow muggle and mixture yet, unlike in Harry Potter's time. And so we go forward. Now Queenie runs away because Jacob and them gets in a fight. And Newt wishes that Tina was actually with them. After all, Tina thinks that Newt is getting married to Lita Lestrange, their old friend. But no, big misunderstanding. And so he wants to try and find her and prove her wrong. And thus we go to the port key. Since he can't legally go out of it with his own magic via teleportation and stuff, so he uses the port key, which is a bucket this time instead of a wacky old boot. And he also drags Jacob because Jacob wants to talk with Tina as well, with Queenie, and Queenie is looking for Tina because of the big fight. But either way, next we go. Find out that Tina's been kidnapped after Newt does some cool magic that shows what has happened in the time. Fun fact about if I record and take pictures of a video of the movie, end up getting captured, etc., etc., and then the guy that gets captured has a parasite that's killing him. Newt saves the guy, he's unconscious for a little bit, then they go off to find Credence. And Jacob and the unconscious man that tried to keep them in prison till he can kill Credence is there alone. And what happens next when that happens? Someone that I did not expect to see at all. Nicholas Flamel! Nicholas Flamel, ladies and gentlemen. And we finally see the old man. I don't know if he's still alive even in Harry Potter's time because the Sorcerer's Stone was destroyed. And Dumbledore said that Nicholas Flamel has enough elixir to put his affairs in order. So, Nicholas Flamel and Jacob talk, and Nicholas Flamel has a crystal ball that tells the future randomly, especially in correlation spots. But, what happens, Jacob gets riled up and goes off to the graveyard where the crystal ball says, and then it's like, but he didn't see the full future. Nicholas Flamel stayed and watched, and death is happening. Death is going to happen. So, Nicholas Flamel consults a book with a picture of a friend, I guess. That's in voila. He's revealing to battle after some encouragement from Frodo. But that's not all. Oh, we finally get to the Lestrange family crypt, only to find out that Credence is not a Lestrange, at least. We don't know who he is yet, but that aside, Grindelwald. From the trailers, everyone thought that was a prison, but he's finally getting judged and stuff. Nope, it was inside the crypt with his followers. And Tina and them are in it because they couldn't escape. Grindelwald talks some rather sound logic that we are not violent, that we just want to be free to be able to use our magic without cowering against the no-mages, etc. Muggles, as commonly referred to even in America, even not in that time of America, but in British. And sets up something so it happens. And the auras are there as well, surprisingly. Not a good thing, though. Dumbledore warned them not to go there under any orders, and what do you know? Dumbledore was right once again. Because after the big fanfare, Grindelwald's convincing point, even though the only reason it's not convincing to those that are smart is because his way of doing it is through violence. Even though he says we are not violent, but he will kill anyone that gets in his way, including his own fellow wizards. But he draws an age line to show that, well, a custom age line, because it looks like an age line, and unlike in Dumbledore, that's probably where he got it. Dumbledore got it from Grindelwald, but drew a custom age line that tests your heart. If you are true to following to Grindelwald, you will survive the fire. If you are not, you die. And Queenie wanted to join Grindelwald because he will allow the love between Jacob and him, and between Jacob and her, but the problem is, he doesn't want to. Jacob does not want her following the madman. The reason and being, he knows he's bad. Things would change, just not the way they are trying to do it. And thus, Queenie is now with Grindelwald. Probably still loves Jacob, but that aside, he's one more. Lita Lestrange herself, of his being invited into the organization of Grindelwald's. But what happens? She doesn't do it. She fights back. And fails. She could not withstand Grindelwald's power. He was too strong for her. She was destroyed. Body and all. Well, not soul, but body at least. And then we get to my favorite part, which I'm gonna show you a clip. I recorded it. It's because I like it. It's my favorite scene of the movie because, of course, it's my favorite because I like action. But it was slow build to this, so.
Together in a circle, you're wanted to the earth. Or all Paris will be destroyed.
Alright, and that aside, and now how that everything's there, Nicholas Flamel helps save Paris and such, we go straight to Hogwarts Castle. All of them except for Nicholas Flamel, of course, there. And we've learned that Dumbledore made a blood pact. Well, we learned that sooner. Actually, we didn't know what they made, what the pact was, but we learned what the blood pact was for, so they would not fight each other. So Newt gives it to Dumbledore, hoping he can break his own blood pact, because Dumbledore is the only one that is powerful enough, even without the Elder Wand, to stop Grindelwald. So we'll see what happens in the next movie. But that's not it. Now we turn to, and in between that, in the conversation, we do basically a same time, opposite view of what happens with Grindelwald and Credence. The biggest rumor of them all. And there was a rumor that Queenie would turn evil, etc. But the biggest rumor of them all was that Credence is a Dumbledore. And finally, it was revealed that he is a Dumbledore. Surprisingly, anyway. Actually, it was surprising even from the rumors. I wouldn't have thought that they would have done that, but now we do. Now we know that Credence is a Dumbledore, the Phoenix, which we can imagine that is where Fox is going to come from later in the series. But now, we are all caught up with the story so far. The question is, what happens next? I can't wait. Hopefully it won't be as slow of a build, but if they can keep stretching out the story to add in as much detail of the backstory of everyone that wasn't included in the main books, that would be awesome. See more stories, see more characters when they were young, etc. And there was also an Easter egg. The fire slugs you see were never mentioned in the books, I don't believe, but in the computer game you fought them as Harry. He just knocking them about. Yeah. It is beautiful though. I think it really has potential. They just had to be really careful at this point. They got on a fine line between going under the radar and going too overboard and making it nonsense. If they are very careful and staying right in that fine line, I think this series is going to be a hit. And so far, the first two are actually very good. As I said, the first one bouncing around, getting us into what's happening. And then the second is giving us details and building it up. Which is so far doing really good. Because the big build up to not only the best battle scene in any Harry Potter, because of all the beautiful coloring and such, even though it's only so... Fire is beautiful! I would never play with it, but it's beautiful. All the way up to the brilliant secret that Credence is a Dumbledore. Hilarious Dumbledore. And now we know. So I think there's real potential in this movie. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Grand Observer's review and quick movie and quick story of it. There's hardly anything that doesn't make sense. So if you have any questions about how this movie went, something you don't understand, I can help. I watch it and saw every bit and detail I could. I'm still rewatching to see what other Easter eggs and stuff that they put in from either from the other movies to the future to from the games. So yeah, I still think, as I said, it's gonna turn out real good this series. Just gotta be real careful on a fine line between good and doing something stupid. But yeah, the Grand Observer is over and out. Hope you like this. Like, subscribe, tell us how good we did on this. I say we, even though it's just me. One day I'll get a co-star that will constantly be able to do stuff with me. But yeah, the Grand Observer is over and out. Like, subscribe, etc. for more exciting content like this. Oh, P.S. I do not own any of the things I did. I own the movie, not the rights. And I took pictures on my phone and video, so that's how I did this. I won't get copyrighted. I shouldn't. It'd be stupid for them to copyright me just using like 30-second clips, even though the battle scene was like a minute and a half. But it's beautiful! And you always see this stuff on YouTube anyway, at least clips and pieces, just not the movie view, which is what I did. Again, that's the end of this. Have a good one, everyone. See you next time.